Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be working on some items from the new CreateAlong box. I'm very excited to show you this, guys. The very first thing is this stencil. The stencil will come in the kit. I absolutely love this. This is a really fun stencil. It's going to work so perfect with the new mica powder. Look at the purple. Absolutely gorgeous. In the kit you will also get your silk screen. This is the Modern Mystic silk screen, and you can see it has butterflies and cats and moons and rainbows and little bottles here, flowers, snakes, all kinds of really cool stuff. So that's a really fun silk screen. The transfer paper, look at that, guys. How gorgeous is that? I think that is fabulous. I'm going to try to play around with this today, and we are going to put this cutter with this transfer paper. I think that's going to look fabulous together. In the large original CreateAlong box, you will get this cutter and this cutter together, okay? And then in the earring box, you'll get the butterfly, the sun with the eyeball, the sun with the eyeball, and then this little star for the top. I think the butterfly and the little star would look super cute together. And then we have our texture stamp. I love her stamps. Kira does beautiful stamps. And then of course, always my favorite are the mini stamps, because I feel like you could do a lot of just simple techniques with these. And this has, like, I think that's the yin yang there with the sunflower type of thing around it. Just beautiful. And then you will also get earring pieces. So she always includes like a simple earring kit, but we have these texture stamps to go along with everything as well. And who can go wrong with those? I mean, look how gorgeous those are. We have our butterfly, which matches the cutter. We have like a little solar system piece here, and then like a little potion bottle with crystals and stuff. So super cute this month. And then my favorite of all is this. This mold is fabulous. I'm not going to use this one this time around because I really want to save this for Christmas time. I think this is going to make a fabulous snow globe. But if you're into the whole mystical thing, a crystal ball would be super cute as well. You can make these into earrings. And remember, you could use this with clay, liquid clay, and resin. So these are perfect for all different types of mixed media. All right, so what we are going to work on today is our transfer paper, our little crystal cutter, and I also want to work with this one. We are going to make two different key rings here. I haven't done a key ring yet for you guys, so I thought it would be a fun change. So let me get this all put away, and then we will get started on this. So the first thing that I am going to do is I have my Cernit translucent clay. I rolled it out to my third thickest setting. We only need a small amount. I just want to make enough for my crystal here. So I am going to cut how much I need. Now remember, the great thing about transfer paper is you could cut it and only use what you want for that time. You don't have to use it all at one time. Take your translucent clay, and then the part that has the ink on it, you're going to face that down. Put that on your clay. And then make sure you burnish it on there well. You want to make sure it has good contact. And then I'll just trim up what we're not going to use. And I'm going to let that sit there for a few minutes. And while that sits there and kind of just gets set into the clay, I'm going to get my black clay, and we will start working on this particular piece. I'm going to roll my black clay out on my pasta machine, and I'm going to put that at my third thickest setting as well. and get your clay nice and conditioned. You always want to make sure it's conditioned so you don't have no crumbling or cracking, and your piece is nice and strong. All right, so I have my clay rolled out to my third thickest setting. The next thing I'm going to do is get a little bit of baby powder to help prevent my cutter from sticking. Oops, that is a lot. That was a little too much, but okay, we'll work with it. Just get it all spread over. And then take your cutter, press down on it, and I like to kind of give it a little wiggle, and then lift straight up. And then you have this beautiful piece here. I mean, look how cool that is. You see how nice that is? And the cutters are nice and sharp as well. All right, so once we have that cut out, we're going to take some of our gold Primo clay, and we're going to run this through our pasta machine as well, and that'll be the back for this. So let me run this through my pasta machine. Okay, so I rolled this out to my number 4 on my pasta machine. And the next thing I'm going to do is carefully lift this up. We're going to place this right on here. That'll help give it a little bit more support for a key ring. I also want to get one of my little eye pins here. I'm going to bend the tip of it and kind of give it like a little loop there. Let me get this out of the way for right now. Let me trim this up quick. And I am going to stick this loop right behind my piece. I want to make sure it's centered properly. There we go. Carefully pat your stuff down, and that'll ensure your piece will not come out. And you can kind of make your key ring any shape that you want. I'm going to do the basic rectangle. And cut it right there. And to give it a little bit more texture, I'm going to take my mini ball tool here, and I am just going to kind of give it that faux hammered look. So to get the faux hammered look, all you're going to do is take your ball tool and go up and down. So very, very simple. If you like more of a clean, crisp look, you don't have to do this step. I just personally like the faux hammered look. And then I take the larger side and go over that as well. And that'll give you 2 different sizes and shapes on here for the hammered look. All right. And that's what we have so far. And I like to kind of round my edges off. I don't like them really sharp looking. So just press those in if you want to round them off a bit. So let's grab our purple mica powder. And we're going to just grab a paintbrush as well and just take a little bit, and we're going to kind of go right over this. And this will give us a beautiful sparkle. And then I have my metallic rub-on paint. And I'm going to use the gold. And then I'm just going to go right over it and just give it a little bit of color. And it does not have to be 100% covered, because we want the inside of that to show the purple. All right. So there is our first project. Very simple, easy, and a lot of fun. So I'm going to put this off to the side. Let me put that on my tile to be baked. I like to press my piece down to make sure no little air pockets are underneath it. And now let's move on to our transfer paper here. Okay. So I have a bottle of water here. I'm going to spray my paper down. And you'll see it gets like a wet toilet paper look. And once it has that wet toilet paper look, you can rub on it and you'll feel if the paper is ready to come off. And this one worked super fast, so I'm pretty sure that it's ready to come off. Get your blade and put it on the angle, and then slowly just take all that extra paper off. And you'll see all that extra paper just easily comes right off of it. And then I like to get it wet again and just run my finger over it and feel for any loose paper that might be stuck on there. And I like to take that all off right away. And that came off really easy, very nice and easy. And I'll take my baby wipe, just go around, get all the extra water up. Go over my piece very gently, just take all the extra off. And then I'm gonna let that completely dry. So it'll take probably about 5-10 minutes for it to dry. And then once it's dry, I'll pop back on and we'll finish this piece up. All right, so my piece has been sitting here for a little bit, and I can see that it's going to be a little bit sticky because it's so shiny that I know it's going to be a little bit hard to work with. So in order for us to use a cutter on this and it not affect the paper, we're going to put baby powder on here. Now just take your baby powder and carefully just go right over it. Kira also carries these brushes, which are fabulous for this. And get the whole thing covered in baby powder. Now you could easily touch it and work with it. So I'm going to take my crystal cutter here, and I'm going to go straight down. And it's still wet underneath, so I made a mistake by not making sure it was securely down. All right, so you can see it's kind of stuck in there. I'm going to take my blade and carefully get an edge. If I could pull up an edge, then I know I could get the rest out. So just carefully pull it up, because the baby powder will help release it very easily. I should have made sure the underneath was dry, but I did not do that. So let me just dry the back of that. And I'm just going to clean up this edge here. and then put my clay right down onto my tile. Let me just get this little area here cleaned up. This paper looks really cool. I hope you can see the detail in that cutter. The paper might be hiding that right now. I have this little piece here. This is like a keychain holder, and you can find these very easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lift my paper up here, and then I'm going to decide how do I want to hang this keychain. I actually want this right on the side here, so I'm going to take this little piece and push that into my clay. And then kind of reset it. Push it all the way down. There we go. Make sure it's nice and flat so you get no air bubbles underneath. Stay in there very securely because of the shape that it was. Okay, so now I'm going to place these in my oven. Bake at recommended time and temperature on your package, and then we will come back. Okay guys, so here is our piece. We are going to put some resin on this. And unfortunately, you can't see the details so much from the actual crystal piece because of the paper itself. But I'm hoping once we put the resin on, we'll see more. And then here is our little time one here. I think this came out so cute. I'm really happy with this. I want to just add like a regular keychain thing, but you can also use this for a pendant. And then I took my scraps and I ended up just cutting out some stud pieces, which I'll add the backs to those later on. I'm just going to show you quickly how to put your resin on your piece. So I use J. Diction. I'm just going to put my resin right on. I'm going to grab my little tool here that I like to spread my resin with. And I am also going to grab a poker tool. And then I just kind of hold it down and then spread my resin. This will protect your paper. It'll make it shiny. Okay, so once you have all your resin on, put that stuff off to the side, grab your lighter, and then just go over your resin. Make sure no bubbles are in there. You don't want to go through all of this and then have it ruined by having little bubbles. And I always like to kind of just double check everything, make sure all my stuff is pushed to my edges. And now I'll put this under my UV light. For this, we want to protect our mica powder and our paint. So I'm just going to use the satin glaze from Sculpey. Grab a paintbrush and just spread that over your entire piece. You could get the gold in the background if you want to make it shiny, or you could just leave it go. But you want to always make sure to get anything that you put mica powder or paint on. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing. There we go. So I will let that dry as well. All right, guys, so my piece is out from underneath the UV light. It is beautiful. I'm very happy with it. I want to show you, I don't have a flashlight, but I do have my mini UV light flashlight here. And I want to show you, you can actually see through this when you hold it up to the light. So it's very neat how, I can't show you right now, but because my camera doesn't go up to that point, but you can actually see all the detail pieces from the cutter when you have the light behind it. And all you do is you would loop this through and connect your keys onto it. For this particular one, it's still a little wet, so I'm not going to overly touch it. And I don't have my chain. I think I used the last one probably a couple months ago when I was making hearts for people. But all you do is buy those connector keychains, and they come with a chain, and then you can just loop them right onto your keys. But that would be perfect. You could also use this for a pendant if you want. There's a lot of different things that you could use in this kit for this particular piece. I was also thinking that we could fold it over and make it like a bookmark type of thing. So lots of different ideas that you could do with this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you did, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to Create Along, and I will see you all next time. Bye.